Hey, what's up, guys? A little late on the recap here, as usual, but it was a man. It was a marathon of a session. I got through a lot of stuff. At least I felt like I did. Uh, so if you remember, like where I left off, like I was having problems with the leftover effects of that shared will thing, um, and Form Up Girl's sister had come to visit because she wanted Form Up Girl to come back to kind of help with the family business. Form Up Girl's not having any of that. She's a warrior now. She can fly and everything. Uh, uh, so they were having that conversation outside, and I was downstairs with my apprentice Rohan and Pan of Weiss, and I was basically Pan's like Pan. Pan is like this up and coming Saiyan girl who I helped turn Super Saiyan like at the ripe young age of 17. I come to find out much later in the session that she was an orphan and basically grew up in military academy. So like she's basically spent her whole life doing nothing but training. She's one of those people. She's one of the people that like I should have recruited as far as like having talent and potential as opposed to the other two that I got. The Emma School for Untalented Youngsters, as it's been known, which actually isn't necessarily true because Rohan definitely has some talent. Form Up Girl just like is she might have potential, but she has no talent currently. Um, so we basically go over the like I'm making her these gauntlets, and I'm actually ether crafting for her. Like now, part of it's a lesson for Rohan, but part of it is a gift for her. Like how does she because she kind of ascended to a Super Saiyan state. So I was like, you know what? Like we'll use this as like a good chance, and I helped her out with it and everything. So we'll kind of use this as a like nice little bridge the gap kind of thing where if I need some help in the future, I can maybe look her up and maybe she could become squad because I like her like as a character. Um, excuse me. Uh, of course, the phone rings. 1 second here. Nope, nothing I need to get. Uh, so in order to like properly calibrate these, I need to her like to fully power up and then kind of examine her power. So we go out and we do that. Uh, sorry. Um, we go out and do that. She powers up and normally like I could just power up like the Super Saiyan and the shock would be fine. But whenever you're first powering up to a new level, like it can be hard, not hard, but it can be like more destructive than you'd intend. Like it's more difficult to control. So she was a little nervous about going on the shock. I was like, oh okay, like, and I have like an estate with includes like training grounds and areas where you can do that kind of stuff. So we go out there. She powers up. I power up. I start reading her art and everything like that to get a good gauge of where she is. And it'll just be it'll make the item I'm making for her. It's a very simple one, but the on the inexpensive side. Because like I said, I'm going to give it to her, but I'm going to use it as a training tool for my apprentice here. We do that. There's a bit of an exchange back and forth between us. She asks to see the second form. I do that. Um, I do like a little show and everything like that. Like I use my like Kaioken effect to actually break into two because I basically because it's like for her it's like she's got to like power it up. It's like I'm to the point where I can just flash into Super Saiyan. Like I'm kind of like the if you remember like in DBZ, it's like you get to that point where it's better to long form power up, but as your power expands, you can just jump to certain levels, especially Super Saiyan like that, like with just like in a flash. And to be able to do that, it's actually pretty cool. Because I was like, oh, I wonder how effective it'd be. And it's like my flash jump is about as powerful as she is in Super Saiyan. So it's like I can just bang get there in an instant and then hit somebody if I needed to. Um, Now I can power up further than that, but like I was just looking to break into Super Saiyan. Um, so I do that. Uh, I flashed into Super Saiyan, and then she said about, could I see the second form? And yeah, I said sure, because like a big thing like with Saiyans and everything like that is uh, seeing and reading their auras, like when you can sense and stuff like that, like the way people power up and how they do it, like you can kind of gather a lot to how to do it to yourself. Now it's obviously not just like you see it once and you're good to go, but like any kind of experience like that is a good thing. Um, so yeah, I power up for her. And then at the end, I use my Kaioken tattoos to burst into two, and I knock everyone but Pan on their butts with a little power up thing. And it was like a whoops, but also like yeah, that's right, because Everest is gonna start like getting ready to appeal to Boro, the Herald of Power. Um, you got to be a little bit of a showman for that kind of thing. So I do that, and she says at some point there's this thing where she says it's like, oh, like to do like an arsenal thing, where it's like you basically you show off your techniques and stuff with another Saiyan, but it's like a training session. And I said, yeah, I'd be happy to do that with you sometime, Pan. You know, you let Tetsuo know that I'm down for it, and next time you're around, we'll hold on a second here.
That's your list of do, and I need that done as soon as.
Yeah, we'll set that up and do it. Um, so yeah, that's where. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, so what was it? Oh yeah, so Tetsu, I said like run it by Tetsu whenever you want, stop by and we'll do it. So we do that. We go back down to the shop, and we kind of say our hey, like listen, like they've got to go. Saya and her sister have kind of come to a bit of an impasse, and she's gonna be on her way. What's it called? Nia invites me to breakfast the next morning. I think she's kind of into me. I like from Saya's dropped a couple hints that she's always looking for a husband or something like that. Like she's one of those kind of people, and they're about my age. Like Saya's I think like 22, 23, and like Nia might be a little bit older, or they might be twins. And I'm 26, so it's like yeah, like you know, it's we're close enough in age. So Saya's initially like, no, 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 and I was like, no, it's okay. Like I can go and we can go and be polite and everything like that. She's like, fine. Rohan wants to go because he has a thing for Pan. And they're both about the same age. I think like they're 16, 17. Well, yeah, I know Pan's 17 for sure. I think Rohan's like 17, 18. So we say, yeah, sure, we'll do it. We get around to it. The next so then I go out and I actually start to train Form Up Girl some. Finally get to I don't want to say finally, like she's only been here a couple days, so like yeah, we get some like initial training and everything like that, where I'm basically helping her with her form, and because man, it's rough. And like I said, it's just it's the place that she was training at like was an active detriment to her. Like it set her back more than it moved her forward. So yeah, we do that for a while until she's basically physically exhausted. I'm good to go because I've got like some long form power and everything like that. But yeah, we do it for a couple hours. I go back to check on Rohan, but I start to have those. Oh, okay, that's what I missed something. So in between the time where Saya and them left, and I went to train, or Naya and them left, and I went to train Form Up Girl, is I contacted my mom, and she's into the Republic with Uncle Tosh to for the funeral of a friend. I'm pretty sure they were going to Maisie's funeral, and I was like, ooh, cause that was the thing that I did the shared will with. So I was like, oh, like that's I'm sorry to hear that and everything, and so I talked with him. I talked with my mom, real quick, and let her ask her about like the side effects. She tells me how to fix it, like through some deep meditation, specifically meditating on the time I've meditated before, and yeah. I kind of fill her in what's going on in my life a little bit. Try to give her a little good news and everything, like, you know, the new customers in the shop and everything, and tell Uncle Tosh how I fought a cosmic being, and he's wilding out. My mom's like, "What? You fought a what now?" And I was like, "Hey, I fought someone some cosmic tower." I was like, I might have like raised a couple alarms of the planet because you know, I was trying to craft the dude a weapon. Was the best way to do it. It was just like there was a Uncle Tosh couldn't wait to hear about it whenever he gets back. Um, so there was that. Then there was the two training things where I basically trained with Saya and then trained with Rohan, showing him how to do some crafting stuff. Rohan, like, he's got like the artistic side down, like down pat. Like, he's actually a pretty good like weaponsmith as it is. Now I don't know about like his smithing of like higher powered items, as far as like being able to withstand like, you know, very powerful things, but like his side, like the side of him that's going to be helpful for what I need is great. And then I showed him a little bit about like ether crafting, but at this point, like, I'm hurting for that. I'm feel like another one of those episodes, those spells come on. So I was like, all right, uh, don't bother me here. I'm going to go see if I can bang this out. And I go into a meditation state, and it was back when I was, oh yeah, so it was back when Dakalon was showing me like these orbit cannons that like the Saiyan Empire uses. Like, so if like a planet was being attacked by huge ships, and like the first one just like overwhelmed my senses whenever the shot. I think I was like 16, and just like the sheer power of one of these overwhelmed my senses. So he's like showing me how to meditate. Not, he didn't show me how to do, I knew how to meditate by then. He's like showing me how to like meditate through like the power thing, and through that, like, I identify like the kind of corrupting influence from the shared will and start to push it out. But I don't get it all out. But I understand that it's there and everything. So it's like, okay. And basically, the DM explains that I'll need to probably do it again, but I can't, like, you can't enter that kind of deep meditation like immediately. Like, your mind's a little frazzled. So it's like you want to have that calm state. So like, yeah, some rest will do you well. So I think I go back out. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Like, I go down, get something to eat, and I was like, oh, let me plant that flower that Opal gave me, because I wanted to get that. She gave me a nice little flower as a send-off gift, so I was gonna plant that and then take care of it. Not hopefully let it die in the process. That would look bad. And I go out to like my estate, and like I had like a groundskeeping thing where I have some like basic stuff. I was like, oh, let's get some potting soil in a pot. Yeah, we'll throw it in there. And Forb Up Girl is training, and she's doing this kind of like to be able to fire an energy blast. She seems very hung up on the idea that she likes to fire an energy blast. I think what it is she wants the, like, you know, like what she associates with being a warrior is like being able to fly, being able to fire energy blasts, just because it's stuff that she can't do. It's like, now obviously we know that being a warrior is so much more than that. But yeah, so she's trying to do this thing that's way above where she is, and yeah, there's a lot of back and forth. Or I basically watch her and then, you know, ask her why she wants to do that, and she's, I don't know. It seemed like a cool, like a thing to do, and I think there's like more to it than that, because like she wants to be able to be someone who can fire a blast. And I work with her a little bit. I said, you know, it's a little out of order and everything, and we're gonna focus on a better foundation. But it's like, you know what? It's like, we can do this. It's like, I just, you know, you can't expect anything like that. You know, you can't expect like miracles to happen. And I show her like there's these training discs that we have, and what it is like you throw punches at them, and they help you like draw out your energy or like focus it so you can just fire and blast after a certain kata. And we do that for a while, but like nothing really comes of it. Fast forward, get some sleep. Next day, we have breakfast with Saya and Pan. Oh man, there's already a lot of tension with that. It's still not going well. I find out a little bit more about Pan and Saya and Nia, her family. They've got this restaurant group. It's called Feast of the North Star. I thought that was a cool name. little nod to the Fist of the North Star, maybe. And find out Pan's an orphan, all that kind of stuff. But like unfortunately the breakfast ends with kind of like an ultra tense moment. emphasize, like, we should go. And I was like, no, that's okay. It's like, we'll head out. I was like, that, thank them for everything, for their hospitality. Pan's like all thankful for me because Rohan gave her the bracers, and she's all fawning over those. We get back, and I basically say, listen, I need to get back anyway because I need to finish this like meditation thing today, and because it's like I can feel like another spell coming on, and like I don't want to get us stranded because it's like if we were flying at their speed, it would take us a couple hours to get where we were going, but with my speed, it took a couple minutes. So I was like, let's get back there. I leave them to their own devices, and then I go back into my meditation state. And like this one is like it's like the first time I ever meditated. It was with Uncle Tosh, and I was trying to get the better of him, and he's Uncle Tosh. I couldn't get the better of him. But yeah, so I go through that, and I go through another meditation, and I finally expel like what I think is the rest of the influence. Now I say what I think is what I hope is the rest of the this like kind of corrupting influence from the experience, and I basically get through that. But that takes me like the rest of the day. Like I think I meditated for 10 hours and I didn't realize it. And I go out and I do the same thing again, where I go out and get something to eat, and I was like, Rohan, I could sense, just like from my cursory senses, that he's sleeping, and Saya, she seems like she's out there training again, and she's still, so I go out and I do the same thing, where she cannot sense me for the life of her, but like, it's like I can sense her easily, and so she doesn't realize I'm there, and she's like, you need to put a bell around your neck. I was like, or we could work on your senses so you can sense, who's around you like that. Because it's like, I'd never, like, someone like me would never sneak up on her. Like, I've got like that long form power that she should easily be able to sense, even when I'm not powered up. And I had like an epiphany from the DM, basically like this whole meditation thing. Like she's mentioned a couple times about like kind of like daydream states where it's like it seemed like they're kind of like meditation. So like, oh, like let's see if we can do something like that with her. We talk a little bit first about like senses and stuff like that, and her progress on on trying to fire this blast, and I sit down, and I can't sit down like meditate at this point. Like I can't join her because I'm kind of like mentally spent from exercising this, but I can talk her through it without any problem. So I do. I talk her through the process, and yeah, talking her through it actually helps her reawaken her senses. Now they're not, and I don't know if it had something to do with Cameron's awakening of her senses, because that's something he did to her in the fight. But yeah, it was really interesting, and she could actually kind of see and sense me now, like on a Saiyan level, which was awesome. I was like, oh, like that, it actually worked, and through it, we basically started to do the thing with the energy blast again. Only like I'm side by side with her, and it's like I'm like having her follow me so she can watch what I'm doing, rather than like feeling her way through it. She can see it in action, and in a surprising turn of events, like she actually fires off a blast that kicks her on her butt. But yeah, it was awesome. Like she did it. So I said, I was like, oh man, DM. I'm joking with the DM at this point. Like. It's like, man, like ever since like the trainer that comes like the trains the PC up and everything like that. It was Swarm of Girls the real PC in this story. Let's not joke around. But yeah, so she kills it. I like basically fly and catch the blast and bring it back to her, and she's like, kind of like a little on the exhausted side, but like impressed. And I was like, not bad, kid, not bad. And that's about where the session ends. I didn't do justice to a lot of the stuff that happened. There was a lot of stuff in there I feel like I kind of glossed over for the sake of time, because as you might have heard, I've got a list of things I got to do But yeah, that was my Legend session. It was awesome. The Form Up Girl uh, PC is going to be coming to movies near you as she starts her journey to becoming a great warrior.